Mike Lindell, election fraud expert, also sells some pillows on the side. He went on CNN to talk about his latest attempt to convince people that the 2020 election was stolen from Donald Trump. Again, so when he went there to talk, with reporter Drew Griffin on CNN, and Drew Griffin had just one question for him after he gave him all this evidence and information about just how the election was stolen. Drew Griffin had one question. Here it is.
What is this?
That's just one piece of 1.2 billion lines of data from the election. Okay, within that will be timestamps of when it happened. There'll be flips in there.
So we sent this to our own experts. He said that it doesn't show any specific actions of any kind, election related or not. And it's proof of nothing.
Okay, so he said that's nothing, huh? Well, he's wrong. Then you didn't hire a cyber expert.
Boom, got him. What's up now, bro? You didn't hire someone, did you? This train wreck of an interview did not end there. I want to go to one more before we talk about these first two embarrassing moments. But Drew Griffin went on to talk about the details as to why these experts debunked the things that Mike Lindell is claiming. Let's listen to that.
We didn't consult just one cyber expert. We consulted 9 top election security experts who told us Lindell's screenshots were extremely rudimentary metadata and completely ridiculous. We also reached all 15 officials from the 15 counties where Lindell says, without any proof, votes were hacked and switched. They are counties that use paper ballots counted by systems not connected to the internet. Every one of them told CNN there is no evidence they were hacked by anyone.
You identified 15 counties where the votes were switched. We contacted all 15 counties, red and blue. That
doesn't matter.
And we couldn't find a single person that said this is even possible. They say, are you mistaken?
Right.
They think you're wrong.
Right.
The bottom line is they have paper ballot backups that prove that they were not.
So you guys went and they let you audit there? They let you do a full audit, CNN? You guys did a full audit on 15 counties, huh?
2-0 for Mike on these posts here. He wants to make sure that every one of these responses comes back to another question, or then him saying, "Oh, really? So not really, huh?" This is the kind of privilege that we've seen from folks who think they can just give an answer, and just because they said it with absolutely zero proof, and without even looking into the details of this that they're talking about, that's just the way it is.
So when he says, "Oh, so they let you audit," but he didn't say that, right? But remember, Mike Lindell's audience, in a sense, has the same mental issues that Mike seems to have, right? So when he says, "Oh, so they let you audit," they go, "I got him," right? But the reporter didn't say that. He said, "I checked with the officials and they have paper ballots and it's been verified." He didn't say that I went and verified it. He said, "I checked with not only Democrats, but Republicans on the ground who verified it." And of course, it's not an accident that Trump and Lindell and all their allies lost 60 cases in a row when they adjudicated this and had a chance to bring that ridiculous metadata into the courts. They brought whatever evidence they had and they were laughed out of the courts by every judge, including every Republican judge, including every Trump appointed judge, right? So, but my favorite part was in the first clip when the reporter presents the evidence to him and Lindell seems genuinely surprised. And he's like, look, the guy's got mental health issues. And there's a bunch of those folks running around now, right? But the problem is they're public figures. If they weren't a public figure and it's your uncle or your neighbor or a guy you don't even like, you say, "Hey, Mike, look, man, I take it or leave it, but I got a great therapist, whatever." But without, not in a mocking way, like genuinely, like the guy clearly needs some sort of help, whatever is happening in his personal life, and we could reach out to them as progressives and have sympathy, etc. But they're public figures, and they're deceiving tons and tons of people into thinking that this insanity is true. Look here, take that one example. He says, "I got this, it's China's hacking in, and with this, I got the metadata, it's through the internet, China hacks in, and then getting there, next thing you know, it's in my pillow," right? And they're like, "But your pillow is not connected to the internet, and neither is the voting system." Is that the first time you heard that? I mean, but you're saying crazy things. So I don't want to call you crazy, but I got to, brother, because you're lying to people and they're believing you.
I think he definitely knows exactly what he's doing. I'm giving him less of a reach and thinking there's some mental health issue there. But for me at least, I want to know at what point does Mike Lindell get charged with trying to overthrow the government? Because that's exactly what it seems he's doing with fueling these lies and this disinformation campaign. It really seems like he picked up where Trump and his cronies have left off, and seeing outlets like CNN give Lindell a platform is absolutely absurd. The man is not interested in facts at all. He knows exactly what he's saying cannot be proven and is not true. And when it's disproven, he's going to, just like Cenk observed, he will go left. And so I just don't understand why people continue to uplift him, but I would really like to see prosecutors to get in touch with him. And so if he ends up in a facility, that sounds fine. But at the end of the day, he is trying to overthrow the government, disrupt things, and we are at a point where somebody has to do something.
In order to overthrow the government or ignore all the facts, you actually kind of have to not listen. And that's really what was exhibited in this last clip. I just want to point out, because they went over, Drew Griffin, I just want to point out his name again, went over and over with the details of how he looked into it, even maybe with the mind of like, let me take all of your accusations, just really place them right in front of the people who are experts in the field because they do it, and see what the response is. It's one of those times when you can go, I wish the people who are saying this could just have a direct response to the real answer. Here it is.
Lindell claims someone in China hacked the election system here and stole away precisely 3,215 Trump votes and turned them into Biden votes. The Republican county clerk, Nancy Przrocki, finds the allegation laughable for one main reason.
It is never connected to the internet.
Never.
Never connected to the internet at all, whatsoever.
Not only are they not connected to the internet, the votes are cast by hand on paper. Voters scan their ballots into this Dominion scanning machine where two digital storage cards keep a tally. The paper ballot goes right into this bin under lock and seal.
And that container is sealed.
And just to check that everything went okay, they conduct audits, comparing the paper ballots to the results on the computer. And in 2020, it was an exact match.
I don't think you really understand how votes are cast, collected, and tabulated in this country.
Okay, you know what? I do. But what you don't understand is they can get, after they're tabulated, they can get hacked after the fact, which they were, because Donald Trump was going to win anyway. Donald Trump was going to win anyway.
The paper ballots
you didn't do an audit to match them up, though.
Were audited against the machine.
No, they weren't.
Count.
No, they weren't.
In these counties,
no, they weren't. No, they weren't. Who told you that?
The county officials.
Oh, did they tell you that? Well, they're going to have some answering to do.
Wow. So again, the answer was, in case you couldn't hear it in the middle of his last part of his little rant, his answer was because Donald Trump was going to win anyway. Yeah. That is the answer to, well, how is it that it wasn't connected to the internet or wasn't connected for them to hack from afar and then therefore change the votes? He goes, well, they changed it afterwards. How? Well, because Donald Trump was gonna win anyway. How does that work? What are the mechanisms that allows Donald Trump to win anyway, being the reason that they hacked afterwards these paper ballots from China?
Yeah, so maybe we should do a poll on whether Mike Lindell is actually crazy or is lying. But I look, in fact, Jay Hufford in our member section said, I think Cenk's right, Lindell is genuine. He has serious issues, he's got nothing to gain here. He's lost a lot of money over this. By the way, he pulled an enormous amount of advertising money out of Fox News recently because he said, oh, they didn't run my ad or whatever. There's also some chance that he's starting to run out of money. His pillows have been pulled from a lot of the retail stores, and I don't think he knows. I don't think he's connected to reality at all. So when the reporter Drew Griffin tells him, Mike, it doesn't seem like you know how the election system works. He says, you know what? I do. That's not a great counter argument. And Jayar is absolutely right. I came away with the same thought when he's like, well, why do you think this happened? Well, Trump was going to win anyway. And that's cognitive dissonance. I thought Trump was definitely going to win. He didn't. So something must have gone wrong. Not, oh, I was wrong, and it turns out Trump didn't win. Like, for example, a lot of people thought Hillary Clinton was going to win, and she didn't. And how do we square that? We said, well, I guess we were wrong. And Lindell and his followers think, no, it is inconceivable for us to be wrong. So whatever facts you're giving me, I'm going to ignore because Trump was gonna win. And we all knew it. And we believed it so much that we're not willing to listen to anything. So I'll just show you a bunch of matrix-like numbers that don't make any sense. They say they got from the internet when this thing's not connected to the internet, right? And so, but I will quote one other member here. Naughtiest Maximus says, somebody tell Mike that he must not be getting enough sleep and is unhinged. Maybe he needs a better pillow.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, Jayar. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.